Hello, welcome to the Marcus Arsenal Show. I'm Marcus Arsenal, but you know that. I'm with Bryce.
Hello, sexy ladies and gentlemen, nerds all alike. Welcome to the show.
Sexy ladies and sexy gentlemen. Yeah, I know that.
I don't discriminate. I love all my people.
Of course you do. And you know what I love? RPGs. Oh my god, the segue was seamless.
Oh my
I'll,
god!
I'll tell you what though. Not, man, can I discriminate for one moment against today's RPGs? Like, I know, I'm sorry
Oh,
for
please do, because if you didn't, I would have.
you. So, you young folk, I'm gonna, I'm not trying to be condescending here or anything, but no, I'm 28, Bryce is, how old are you?
29
Boom.
between you and Eric.
Ah, gotcha. And the games I see today, like WoW or Mass Effect, I know people are like, wait, Mass Effect. I guess I could summarize it like this. Most of them are so commercialized and so fine-tuned to meet the desires of everyone that I feel like a lot of the heart is pulled out of it, especially MMORPGs. The story, man, there's something about them that just lacks heart. I feel like the people's focus, if there is great story, because I don't know WoWs, I have a great one. I think people say that it does. I didn't know it did, but people focus only on items and party and all that, and getting levels and fighting. It's not about like the story, man.
That's because that's the Western way of RPGs.
True that.
It's a totally different aesthetic, I guess you could say. So, what we grew up on is more the Japanese
That's
style.
true.
So
That's true.
it's just different.
We did grow up on the Japanese style, but I will say this: an American RPG kind of, because toppled over all of my Japanese interests. It was called. I might as well start off with this since I'm talking about it. Baldur's Gate. Have you ever played Baldur's Gate for the PC?
Oh man, Baldur's Gate.
Did you play that though?
I I actually the only time I've ever played it was at your house. That was it. Long time ago.
I know people have played the PlayStation version, but let me just say, if you play the PlayStation version, it is all worlds apart. But Baldur's Gate kind of introduced me to something totally different with so many different items, so many different possibilities, non-linear type story, and it was wonderful. D&D world, Drizador, or however you pronounce his name. But anyway, let's talk about the old school RPGs that we grew up playing and loving. What's one that off the top of your head that you just fell in love with when?
Well, I kind of came in late with the RPGs. I
Okay,
didn't really get into RPGs probably till maybe like eighth grade or so,
right,
something like that. In my RPGs, I'm not more into the click point like Baldur's Gate and all that.
sure.
So I'm more the Japanese style, like Chrono Trigger,
Oh yeah,
Final Fantasies and stuff like that. But one that I really, well, I might as well just say it was Chrono Trigger.
right. One of the best. Definitely one of the music. I love that system where when you move from place to place, you don't have to fight every time. Like you don't have to worry about battling. I like the non-randomized battle system like that. The enemies were. I mean, you had to fight sometimes, but you could see them. I thought that was cool because the other Japanese RPGs, you're just walking. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. All of a sudden, you're fighting somebody. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I hated that shit.
And I like how Chrono Trigger also had a new game plus. I thought it was very cool, and you could start. And I played it over, and with a new game. I remember certain items like Rainbow Sword, and I remember his ability Luminaire. I remember stuff like that. I remember doing double text with the frog and the girl, and then yeah, that game was great, man.
Yeah. That's one that I remember. That's one of the first ones I played. It took me away for like hours.
They took you away, man.
I remember one time literally started playing. I looked up the next minute. I started playing early in the morning, maybe in the day, maybe like 10 o'clock. Next thing I look, it's like 6 o'clock and it's dark outside. I
Right.
felt so scared because I didn't know what happened.
Oh man, yes, yes. Oh, that's what they definitely did that. And yes, and so many people I know were just into Madden or the NFL Blitz. I remember actually, if it wasn't for my brother Eric, I wouldn't have gotten onto RPG so hard. Because I remember especially one. I don't know if you played this one that I'm about to tell you about, but I remember one time we went to Blockbuster. We used to rent games every weekend. I wanted to get some stupid sports game, and he was like, "No, I want to get this one." And it was a big ass box, and it was called Earthbound, and it looked so stupid to me.
Oh man, Earthbound. And Earthbound looks ridiculous, looks stupid, and if you pick it up, you're like, "What
So
the fuck
good.
is this? What? This is
Dude,
the dumbest looking game ever."
yes. I was like, what is this? Like what? Like this is it looks like a joke. You play it, it's so cool. It's just so unique. The music, the beginning, ring ring ring. Like you pick up the phone and it's your dad talking to you. It's like weird, and you have psychic abilities. And Alien, the fighting was different. That was something for me. I always liked or intrigued me or kind of won me or lost me was the battle systems. Earthbound at the time was cool. I liked it. I liked it. It was so weird. First person view. But yeah, man, Earthbound. Oh, damn, that was a cool ass game.
I remember Earthbound. I didn't get to play it as much because, to be honest, I remember going to Blockbuster, and that game was always gone.
Don't you hate that? You know what? Can I just say too? The thing about Blockbuster, when people saved over your shit, you're like, why can't we just have? Let's have an unwritten rule. You didn't have to save over my fucking game. You could have saved over. You could have saved it in the second slot or the third slot. Why are you saving over my shit?
Oh, I remember getting this game, and this asshole purposely, like when I went to recover it, because I rented it and then I had to bring it back, and then when my mama went back with my mom and rented it again, this asshole put as the save data the name of it, erased your shit ass.
Oh,
I
wow.
was like, wait, I was like, man, this jerk.
Wow, man. You see, that's people don't. Wow, it's crazy to think that that was a thing that you played games that you saved it to the cartridge where people could do that. That's just so amazing. That the age, what an age we live in. But also another wonderful one, Final Fantasy VI. Did you play it?
Oh, it's probably
Did you play
it's
it?
it's probably I'm not gonna say the best. It's probably one of the best Final Fantasy games ever made.
I call it the best. I would agree with that,
It's there. It's probably it. Oh yeah, it is. It is the best. It's the best one.
dude. Because it's the same reason why I champion One Piece is the same reason why I loved Final Fantasy VI. Again, I have to talk about the music, and also just to go a little bit further with the music. Every now and then on YouTube, I watch these symphonies. There's symphonies. There's orchestras that play Final Fantasy music and even Chrono Trigger music, like that Chrono Trigger thing, that theme song. Wait, I'm about to butcher this. I'm not. Maybe I won't even do it, but I have to do it now. There's an orchestra that plays that,
Yeah, there's a bunch of those little symphony things that
dude.
play Final Fantasy. I mean,
Right?
how can you not? When you hear a Final Fantasy theme, you just feel your guts just start feeling good. You're like, all right, we about to get into this now.
It's so beautiful, and but going back to Final Fantasy VI, the same reason again why I praise One Piece is why I praise Final Fantasy VI because the characters in Final Fantasy VI were all so unique and imaginative and original, so good, so good, so different. Like they had the guy who could and he used martial arts, and you can use the D-pad to make him do like Hadoukens. I call him, just you call him
Right,
Hadouken.
right. I
And
mean,
other, they're
yeah,
the ninja. They're the little animal kid.
yeah. It had a crap load of characters. That's what it was too.
They did.
It had a lot of characters like that. You just like kept going, and it was also one of the longest games. I
It
was
was long.
like you would get like 40 hours in, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're halfway." I'm like, "Wait,
True.
what?"
There's no way. in a blockbuster world, there was no. I can never beat it, dude. I can never beat it over
I'll
the.
tell
'Cause
you, that's an instant buy. That's not a blockbuster round.
seriously, and because I was too proud, I can never play someone else's game, even if they were generally in the same place that I was in. If his name was different, the characters' names were different and stuff, I couldn't play his game because I'm like, no, I can't play this other person's game. I need to experience. It needs to be me who does this, me who gets there. Because I had the opportunities sometimes to like, he might have been a little bit ahead of where I was or something, and I could have been like, you know what, let me just load this up and just play this shit so I can just beat this game. But no, I refused. Also, the part with Kefka though, when Kefka destroyed the world, and
Ooh, yeah, that was crazy.
it, and then you walk out. I forgot what her name is in the game, what her default name was, but whoever that girl was who had the magical abilities, who dressed in white, when she steps out into the world and that music played, it's so sad and dark, and I loved it. I was like, so good. So, that game was so good. I'm about to cry.
Yeah, that was a good one. And side note, man, when you just beat an RPG, the satisfaction you feel
Oh yeah.
from beating that game,
Oh yeah.
it's like and it's also sad because it's like
It is
like
sad,
one of your
man.
favorite shows just ended, and that's it. That's it, over. But the satisfaction I used to get from beating them, man, I just would walk proud for a few days. Like I just beat that Final Fantasy VI. What?
And I'll tell you, but and 7. Let me say something about 7. First, funny story with 7. I put it on reserve. Remember Babbage's? Wait, do you really?
Yeah, we had Babbage's. Yeah, we had a Babbage's.
Lakeside Mall was like 40 minutes from where 30 minutes actually. I say 40, like 30 minutes. But in New Orleans, that was a long ride, and I reserved it there. And my brother, I have 3 brothers. One of them is named Mike. He's way older than me. I remember when they came out. This is like a September, I believe. I was like, Mike, you gotta bring me to Babbage's, man. I reserved it. Please drive me out there. And he was like, what's this game? I said, Final Fantasy 7. He saw commercials for it or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, but you know the commercials are only CG. It's not any gameplay. But
Yeah. The CG made it look crazy good.
Yep. But he brought me there. I go to Babbage's. Man, I didn't have to reserve that damn game. Dude, that wall was just filled with them. Nobody was buying it. I mean, at least in the area where I was.
Dude, it's not Call of Duty.
I know. I don't even know what the Call of Duty equivalent was. Madden, I guess? Like, what game was like just driving people crazy at that time? But Final Fantasy 7, I mean, clearly it's one of the best RPGs ever. But when I played it in the beginning, and like you're thieves and you're running out the train, or you're stealing something, whatever they're doing, and that music is playing. I played it like in 2000 again for the second time or third time in 2006 or something, and I can say that actually that game was better than I remember. To be honest, it was way better than I even remember it. I used to think it wasn't that great, but it is great.
Yeah, I agree. I had the same feeling, but I didn't play it. Actually, when I played it, it was great. But then a roommate of mine played it again. He's restarted. I used to watch him play it. I'm like,
Right.
was totally intrigued, like watching a movie. I was like, oh man, I don't remember that.
Right?
Or he would find something that was like, oh, how'd you find that? I never could find that. I get the feeling though. It was way better the second time around.
It really was. I didn't, at my young age, I guess I just didn't appreciate it, like, for everything it was. And again, music, I can't talk about Final Fantasy without whoever, that composer, like, he's a freaking genius. But that one scene, though, and I even YouTubed it the other day, because I wanted to see it again, because it just hit my memory banks. When Cloud is remembering, or somebody's remembering, I guess it's Cloud, when he was remembering who he really was and how he was just a clone or whatever the fuck, artificial or something, and he was remembering that he was a bodyguard with Sephiroth, and that guy that was with Sephiroth at the time was really Zack. He was just like Cloud was remembering that he was a soldier, and that the guy that was with Sephiroth was that guy with black hair instead of him, and Sephiroth like gets rid of him or something, and then Sephiroth stabs Cloud. There's a scene with Sephiroth. Do you remember when he stabs Cloud?
Yeah.
And he picks up the sword.
Yeah.
Dude, and throws him over the. That was so dope. Damn, that was a tight scene. I was like,
Sephiroth is still one of the most badass like bad guys ever, like just ever.
yes, he really was. He was so cool. That long ass, thin ass sword.
Right.
He was so. And then there's that one time when you can play with him because you're playing in the flashback, and you make him attack somebody. He just does like 9,000 attack damage. He's just so strong.
Right. Yeah, he's one of the most ridiculous, just badass bosses.
Did you play 10?
Yeah, 10 was that's people are gonna get on me for this.
Yeah, what
I
do you like?
actually really liked Final Fantasy X.
Right.
I really think it's one of the best ones. It's so far different, but I still, to me, that's the most recent Final Fantasy that I've played that I really had a good time playing.
That was the last stop. That was the last stop. And on the good Final Fantasy train, I will say I would have gotten on you after the first time I played 10. But then again, like a couple of years later, I played it again, and I was like, oh, this game is actually way better than it is good. Here's the thing. My only gripe about 10, the voice acting, especially on Titus. Ew, he sounds like a freaking retard.
Oh yeah. The voice acting was
So bad.
yeah. It wasn't good, and I wasn't the biggest fan of what's that guy's name? Waka's weapon, the ball. That was lame as hell. That's maybe the worst Final Fantasy weapon is that fucking beach ball.
I can never win. I played that Blitzball game so many times. I can never
It's
beat it.
impossible. It's
Did you?
impossible.
So you didn't beat it either, huh?
It's impossible to win that game. I love that they added it in there, but that game is impossible to win.
Yep. And my pride was not letting me. I had to keep restarting because I know that it will continue. Nothing bad happens if you lose. But I was like, no, I gotta be. I can win this. I can win this. No, I can't. I can't.
It's the worst. It's like you solely had to focus on Blitzball and not the game if you wanted to beat that. Wait, you want to? Wait, there's a story mode? Oh, I've been
Right.
just playing Blitzball.
Yeah, you're right. And which one? And the one I can't remember if it was 13 or 12. Which one was the Final Fantasy after it that there were the bad guys were people called judges. They were judges and they wore silver armor. Which one do you know what I'm talking about? And the fighting system was similar to like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know if you ever played that game.
Was that 12?
Whichever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember if it was. I don't think it's 11 because I think 11 was.
Yeah, I don't think it's
something else.
11 either.
It might have been 12.
Well, look, whichever one, I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. I feel like that's when I'm just like, no, they sold out because it's even the newest Final Fantasy, that the 9 online one. I feel like I didn't play it, but I looked at it. I looked at playthroughs and stuff and looked at the character designs. The character design, dude, they looked like models. They looked just everyone was so pretty and bland. And
Yeah,
it's
it
just,
lost that luster that like every character is different and they have their own little thing.
exactly.
They have the creature. They don't even have like really no creatures.
They
Yeah, 'cause
didn't.
I did the same thing as you with the last one. I kind of watched like some playthroughs of it,
Yeah.
and it was like very like boring. Like,
Yeah,
it looked great,
Right.
but everything else was just like it was so boring. I'm like, okay, this is boring.
And when they try to make it, I mean, I'm assuming they're trying to make it so realistic to where you can believe that it would happen in real life or something. But like the characters, they're too real. They're too realistic looking. They look too real. I'm like, put some goofy. Again, One Piece. The characters look crazy. The ratio of height, like when Luffy stands in front of a marine, he towers over him like 5 feet over him. Like I love that. But Luffy's just as strong. Like I love the weird how big and small
Yeah.
people are and how
And
weird
then-
they look.
And that's what they lost in that.
They
And then-
did, man.
And I want to smack the developers for making that black guy with the goddamn mushroom afro.
Yeah.
It just pisses me off.
They
when
love
do that.
afros.
They
love
love the
afros.
afros or they love the cornrows.
They love, yeah, B. I'll say this though. Oh, you know what? You just made me think about it too, because another one talking about fight scenes. Yo, they, I know B is just a blatant like stereotype, like the cornrows and any raps, but shit, that dude was tight. He was strong.
Who you talking about?
Killer B
Oh
and Naruto.
yeah, Killer Bees are the whole lightning like
That crew.
that whole crew is just cool. I don't think that whole crew is just. I don't care. I let that go. I let that slide.
Right,
because they actually look like black people.
Right.
So I
They
felt
made
kind
them
of good.
rap.
I was like, oh, they had their own village. That's kind of dope.
Right. I
I
mean,
let that slide.
they made him rap. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he fought Sasuke, when I saw that in cartoon form, I was like, this shit is sick. And he basically killed Sasuke if it wasn't for him getting healed. Like, by the girl
Right,
healing.
right.
He killed that motherfucker. But, Final Fantasy. Damn, I can talk about all the Final Fantasies because that's the only ones that matter. No, there's so many other ones like Tales of Destiny. I don't know if you mess with that one. That's so
No,
old.
I didn't play that.
Okay, what about Lunar? You play Lunar?
No, I didn't play that one either.
Ah,
Like I've played the other one I played was like Star Ocean 1 and 2.
oh right. That fighting system was pretty new and unique and
Yeah,
cool.
it was new. It was very difficult. You had to kind of get a hang of it at
True.
first, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Star Legend of what about that Legend of the Gaia one where you hit a combo?
Oh my god,
You know.
dude! Legend of Legaia. I've upset at myself for this. There's this one part in the game I've never gotten past.
Yeah.
I can never get it. I've always I rage quit. Like it was a certain part of the game where I guess I didn't grind enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's one boss or there's one group like of things or whatever I could not beat. And I would get so close and it would just do a devastating attack and wipe out my whole squad. And that game, I have hard feelings for Legend of Legaia.
That is always annoying. Similar things happen to me in Xenogears. Do you remember Xenogears?
Oh yeah, they do. That shit used to be hard too.
They had some hard fights, and they got to a part where it wasn't a boss, but I just didn't know what the fuck to do. And usually, I just didn't know where I was supposed to go, what I was supposed to do. I'm like, what do I do now? And I could never be else. I had 65 hours put in that damn game, and I didn't know where to go, and I just couldn't play it anymore. I was like, I'm done with this. But Xenogears was pretty unique and cool. Yeah. What about Breath of Fire? You ever mess with that one?
No, I didn't play that one either.
Yeah, there's a part in there I got stuck to. Some of those RPGs, man. Looking back, I was like how stupid was I to not know what to do, to not know what to do? Do I need an arrow? I said, how stupid was I not to know what to do?
Uh-oh, did we lose the host?
Can you hear me?
Ah, okay, there you go.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It always hits around that 20-minute mark.
Oh my god. Oh, listen, if anybody listening, by the way, I just want to say this. If you're hearing technical difficulties, like, it probably won't come off from my mic. It'll probably come off from yours, because just like with when I was doing it with AW, the other one, he was saying he was hearing mine, but you can't really hear mine in the one, because, I guess since it's from my recording. Anyway, basically, if y'all hear the mic's all fucked and shit, I apologize. I love you all. I digress.
Yeah, still working through the issues.
Exactly. But y'all don't comment anyway. Y'all don't exist. We're just speaking to ghosts because apparently...
Yeah, what's up with that? What is... Come on, man. We see y'all listening. We saw 38. We saw 38 views. Let's get it going. We're trying to have some fun. Join in the conversation. We got things to talk about. We know you like anime. We know you like video games. We know you like cartoons. Help us out here. Help us out. I'm just trying to let them know.
You let them know, man.
Let them know.
You let them know.
I don't care if it's positive or negative. Just give us a holler. Say something.
Right. Just say something. Do you exist? Are these numbers real?
I know. These numbers real.
just like click the page 38 times? Nah, but
right. It's all on you.
It's all on me. But yeah, so many wonderful RPGs, and not in today's. Like, but so you're saying you never played Knights of the Old Republic? Did you? Was that something?
No. I played
did?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, you did.
But
Okay.
I never got through it the whole thing. Like that's the thing with some RPGs. Like I've played them, but I
Right.
never got through through the end.
I empathize. I empathize. A lot of them I didn't like. What about I'm just naming. I know, but I'm just because there's so many. Persona. Are you familiar with Persona?
Oh yeah, I played Persona.
One.
Yeah, I played the first one.
Wow, man, damn, that's crazy that you. I did not know that you were. I mean, me and Eric first played it. We were like, this is so demonic. It felt so evil playing that game. It was like we had the lights out.
Yeah, it was like it was super creepy. Like I'm like how old was I? I'm like 14. Like
Yeah,
what am I playing this?
yeah,
And then you had like the random mom or dad pass. What are you playing?
right, exactly,
And they always pass when it's like the weirdest, like
exactly.
the worst timing. I'm like, ugh.
You persuade a demon to like give you his card or whatever, and it's like,
It's like the creepiest game.
the loading screen is like the face of this like evil guy, like every But I will say with that game was cool as hell. You can use a gun and a sword in part one. That was really weird and cool, and that inspired me with. Because by the way, guys, I'm an aspiring, I should say. How ironic! I'm about to say I'm an aspiring writer. Irony behind the foolishness.
Soon to be best-selling author.
You better believe it. No, I hope so. Who knows? But I will say that Persona did play. Actually, I shouldn't say this maybe because then maybe they'll sue the shit out of me if they hear this. But I think it played a part in my fascination with summoning because Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy VII, summoning. The anime Fairy Tail, no, that plays no part. The fact that the girls has summoning ability. Oh, Bryce, and probably you don't know what I'm talking about because what I let you read was had nothing to do with the main character he has the ability to summon, and the main character that's what he is. But what you read wasn't the main character. But anyway,
Okay.
yes, I love summoning. Persona had that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good game. Another good game, and this is for the masses, was Kingdom Hearts.
That was a good game, man.
That,
It was
that's more of a nostalgic, like, oh my god, this is like, as you playing with Goofy, you're playing with Donald Duck,
hmm
all these different like characters
And
from
they're
all
going
like
hard.
different worlds. It's crazy.
And they're going hard in the paint. And the Nightmare Before Christmas level, I was like, oh my god, it's one of my favorite movies. But what was the biggest thing, the best thing about Kingdom Hearts? And I listened to this guy play it on YouTube. He did his own little version of it, and I love it. That theme, the game screen, start menu song to Kingdom Hearts 1. Dun, 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 dun. It was beautiful. Do you know? Do
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's really good. It's really good. It had really good music.
I just sit down. I don't even hit start. It's like start, pause, options. I'm just like sitting at the damn game menu, start menu, just listening to that damn piano. It's like, this is beautiful.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts had some really good music because it had a mix of like some Disney themes with traditional Japanese like symphony or however you say it, symphony themes and stuff. It was really
Right.
good.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't play part two, and there may even be a part three. Is there? I don't know.
Nah, they're supposed to be making one, but
Did you
who
beat
knows?
both of them?
I beat part one, part two. I still have it. Got through maybe halfway, and then just other stuff came up, and it just kind of died.
Gotcha. Understandable too. Guess, dude, it's 29 minutes. Wow, time just flies. And you know what? And I have no sympathy. I have no sympathy either for ending this. Because you know what? Until someone says something, it's always gonna end at 30 minutes. You jerks. I'm gonna end at 30 minutes until I know that somebody is a person with blood pumping through their fucking veins listening to this shit.
Whoa!
God,
Yeah, you guys got him boiling, man.
son of a
Just
bitch.
come on, we're doing some good topics here, man. We're trying to hit every aspect: comics, anime, just discussion, our favorite things, just a intimate talk between two guys. that like these kind of things.
Exactly.
And
Do
we're
you watch
trying to
Attack
have
on
it together.
Titan?
Attack on Titan, that's a crazy. I've
Have
never
you-
seen like it's like just from them just when they fight in those they're like naked and it's just like crazy.
Have you watched all of them?
No, I haven't seen all of them.
How far have you
Actually,
gotten?
I've only seen maybe like 3 episodes. I just started like a few weeks ago. I just saw like 3 episodes.
All right, because I was about to say that manga, its newest chapters maybe are worthy of reviewing because they're long as shit and they are able to be discussed, I think. By the way, because okay, maybe we'll talk about Attack on Titan next episode, guys. But let me just tell you, Bryce, on here, please watch at least to like episode 6 because the only reason why I continue to watch it, I tell people this too when I tell them to watch it, is that the hopelessness was getting on my nerves. I was like, okay, everyone is always so just depressed and just seems like they just seem so pitiful. But what made me continue was like I had some point somebody has to hurt one of these damn Titans. Somebody has to go hard on these Titans, and I want to see if it happens. And you know what? It doesn't disappoint. It does not. It actually gets so much better. It gets sick. I didn't mention. I regret the fighting scene when we did the podcast. One of the best fighting scenes I've ever seen is actually on Attack on Titan. It's
Really?
so sick. Yes, it's so
That good,
dope,
huh?
man. It's so good. The animation is probably the best animation in an anime right now. I don't know if you think like what is as pristine as the animation?
It's really good. It is
yeah.
good. I can't think of to me some of the best animation is Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, yeah.
But it's definitely like it's like good as hell, just like that.
When it gets like episode 6, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 7, it gets like interesting, and then it gets really kind of mysterious, like way more. It's like, oh, this is not as a little bit more depth than I thought. I digress. Anyway, guys, listen, 32 minutes. I hate all of you, and I just want to say a little,
Way to bring them in.
I'm just negging. It's called negging. You tell them that you hate them, and then they love you more. At least that's how I got my. Wait, who am I kidding? I don't have a significant. Wait, maybe that's why.
It may not be working for you.
There's some things I need to think about after I hit the stop button. All right, guys, listen. I love you all. Please continue to listen. Please comment or something. I love you. Just know that. Even if you don't, I still love you. You're still gonna dish them out. You don't have to do anything. It's just, we're just insecure. It's me especially because I was born and raised in a home where love wasn't a factor. And now I need to. Damn it! I want to keep going.
I couldn't even hold that one. The biggest pile of shit.
Love wasn't a factor, and I just need constant reassurance from you guys that I need acknowledgement. I need something I can put my eyes on.
Please comment on this so you'll just some kind of satisfaction.
All right, Joe. Till we meet again. Peace out.
All right, peace.